Just look how pretty that is. I'm truly gagged. Hi you guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Co. I'm so excited for this video because we're talking about Persona Cosmetics, and you know I'm a big fan. We are talking about the new Persona Cosmetics cream blushes, and I'm freaking jazzed. Like, I'm so excited. I love a cream blush. Actually, I just love blush. And you know how I feel about, well, actually, maybe you don't know. I'm going to be talking about them compared to their like powder blushes, but I've been a huge fan of their powder blushes, and we're also going to compare and contrast to other like stick blushes that I have in my collection and let you know how I feel like they vibe. I kind of just want to get into this video so it isn't super long because I want to do a try on of actually all of the blushes. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this Persona Cosmetics cream blush review. All right, you guys, let's get into it. I'm very excited. So I have all three of the shades right here. I actually ordered the shade Teddy for myself, and then they were so nice, and they had actually sent me all three shades, which is amazing. So we're actually going to try on all of these because I feel like it's just so fun. So let's get into the freaking video. What I want to say is I have their cream bronzer. Oh, I have it here. And I have the shade Sahara, and I just want to say the formula of their cream bronzer is what I was so excited. Like, I literally ordered it. I ordered it when they first launched on Instagram. It was like Instagram exclusive, and then like I couldn't even wait because I was so excited about the bronzer formula that I had been loving and raving about that I like needed to know if the cream blush was the same formula. So I ordered immediately. It actually came really, really quickly. I have all three shades, and they were so nice to send them to me. So we're gonna like get into it. The shade that I ordered was the shade Teddy. So I'll swatch that for you first. It was the most neutral shade because you know what? When it comes to summertime, like spring, give me all the pink. But now we're moving a little bit into summertime. I like really, really bronzy makeup, and I like a very subtle like blush, but a little something. So I was really excited by this shade. So this is the shade Teddy. I mean, are you gagged? This is beautiful. Like, this is a shade I would definitely wear. Like, let's say I had a wedding. This would be a shade I would wear to a wedding. I mean, I prefer powder in general for like events and stuff because they're a little bit more long lasting, but still could set it with a powder. This is the shade Kiss, which is like, I mean, pigmentation. Hello. Just love it. And then next we have the shade Bubble, which you know that I love the shade Bubble in their powder, which that was like an exclusive shade that they had in their powder, and then they brought it back, thank G, because like it's so pretty. But like, look at that. It's just so, so good. I'm obsessed. So we're going to swatch these, or not swatch, we're going to apply them to the face. We're going to talk about the formula, and then we're going to compare and contrast to other sticks that I have, stick blushes that I have, so you can kind of see where they lie in terms of formula, wear, and all of that. All right, let's get into the try on. So let's try the shade Teddy first because this is the one I ordered, and I wiped off my makeup on my cheeks, but I think I rubbed, so they're a little pink still, but that's okay. We're going to apply the shade Teddy, and what I am going to do is apply the blush the way I normally apply blush. So I'm going to take this brush here. This is the Sephora 93. I also use the Sephora 96 and the Sephora 99 for cream blushes specifically, and I actually also really enjoy the what is this, the Makeup by Ariel and Morphe collab brushes for blush too. But the Sephora ones are just so, so good. So I'm going to take like this, apply, and I'm going to apply it to this cheek, this cheek. We'll do this cheek. It's just, oh my God, I love this. I'm going to pull it really far forward so you can see the shade. Just look how pretty that is. I'm truly gagged. I'm going to give my, it's just so good. It's so pretty, and it gives like a perfect blush. Now I'm really applying a ton. You don't have to apply this much, but I really want you to be able to see the shades. I mean, it's just so beautiful. Look at that. And it doesn't look crazy. I also really like this brush because if you have a small face like me, it just gives like the perfect circumference area, but it isn't like too fluffy or too anything, and it just melts everything into the skin. I mean, look how pretty that is. I'm obsessed. I'm going to take this brush here and just go around the edge in the front so it doesn't look so crazy because I like to blend it out. I'm just like a huge fan. You can also blend these out with your fingers, which is really nice. I always prefer to use a brush, but everyone has their own preference. Okay, next we're gonna go on, should we do the pink or the red? Let's do the pink next. So let's do the shade Bubble, which is just the pinkest of pink. And this I like, I love to set blushes like this with a matching blush. So it's just so pink and so pretty. Just look at that. And like, this is the spring blush of dreams. I mean, I would still wear this in summer, but it would have to be like a specific outfit day. Like I love a shade like this when I'm wearing like a light blue. I don't know. Tell me, what do you think about, are you like I have one shade for a certain season type of blush person, or are you just like to experiment with a bunch of different blushes? Okay, so I applied a ton. I'm looking a little clowny, you guys. That's okay. I really like a light pink for spring, and even like fall almost, because it gives me that, like, it's really serving like pinched cheek. And I'm kind of a type of blush per season person. So in summer, I like a more neutral tone, or I like something that is like a more naturally pinky, very neutral color, almost could be bronze, or I like a terracotta. I just do. And then in spring and fall, I really like a light pink. So there you can see the difference. This is definitely brighter. And should we set with a little bit of the shade Bubble? Because I do have the shade Bubble. This is their powder. And I'm going to take this brush here, another Morphe and Ariel collab brush, which I like their collab. I mean, this is like so pigmented. It's crazy. Look at that. Look at that pigmentation. So pigmented. And again, anytime I over apply things, which is every single day because I have no self-control, I like to blend out with, or kind of settle it down with a brush. You can also use whatever foundation brush you used that day to kind of blend it out, but I am applying a lot so you can really see in the monitor, because lighting and flash and all of that kind of goes through one layer of makeup really easy, so everything always ends up looking way less intense in the monitor and on camera than it does in person. But I really want you guys to be able to see what it looks like. So that is that shade here. So this is the shade Bubble layered with powder Bubble. This is the shade Teddy, which is just like the neutral, like summer blush of dreams. Like this will be my summer blush. I said it. I said it. Next, we're going to go on with Kiss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove Teddy on this side, and then we're going to go on with the shade Kiss, which she's bright, you guys. Okay, so we're in a better spot now. She is nice and cheery, and she's kind of lackluster and needs a little something. This is the shade Kiss. This is the one that scares. Like, I saw this and I was scared. Not because it isn't beautiful, but because, like, I over apply things all the time. Let's see if I won't do it this time. I will. I mean, look at that. That is crazy. Every time I see it, it scares me. So we're going to apply. Look at that. It's so bright, but it's so pretty. So when a blush is this bright, I will apply with a, did I say a brush? When a blush is this bright, I will apply with a brush. Then I will course correct with my fingers, because that is what I have found to be the best. But I like to use a brush because it's easy to over apply if I just do with my fingers, or I just, look how crazy I look. If I just do with my finger, girl. If I just do with my, apply with my fingers, or I just like, I don't know, it's so much easier to course correct if I apply with a brush, because I don't apply as much on the brush. I'm like very careful because I can see how much pigmentation there is, and then I'm like, whoa, mistakes have been made. Okay, so we are blended, and I'm actually really happy with how that's looking. It's very like flushed summertime, like high summer, looking cute at the beach. And I applied a lot because I really want you guys to be able to see the difference here. So this side, I applied the shade Bubble, the cream Bubble with powder Bubble on top. This side, I only applied the shade Kiss. And I blended it out with my fingers. I don't normally blend out with my fingers, but when something is so super pigmented, fingers is the way to go because it cheers it out in a way that other things do not. But I love the way that these look. They're just so pretty. They melt into the skin. They play really well with translucent powder. I love the Ami Collet translucent powder. They play really well with the other Persona Cosmetics powder blushes, which I have, or other blushes that I have. I really like to use Bubble on top of Teddy. But also I like Teddy with other blushes that I have in my collection. Okay, so now let's move on and talk about the formulas compared to the powder. So the powder, again, is a powder blush. These are super long wearing, and I love to layer them with the cream blushes. What I will say is I feel like they both melt into the skin beautifully. I think the powders are a little bit more long lasting, but when you layer them together or you put a powder below or on top or both of the cream blushes, they last so long, which is amazing. They're very, very similar in formula to the cream bronzer. I would just say the pigmentation is a little bit different, but like that's what you want out of a blush, right? Like you want to have a versatile pigmentation sitch, if you will. But they're all really beautiful. I've been obsessed with this formula in the bronzer for so long, and I'm so happy that they came out with these. So let's move on and talk about them comparably to other cream blushes that I've talked about on this channel. First, I want to talk about it versus the Ilia Cream Multi-Stick, and I have the shade Ladybird in this. I'm obsessed with this. It's so beautiful. And this is, again, right up my alley in terms of shade options because they're very neutral, but you can wear them to events if you know what I mean. And this is one of those shades, but this is a little bit more pinky. So this is a beautiful formula. I would say that this is ever so slightly less creamy and it's more sheer. I would say that the Persona Cosmetics cream blushes have more pigmentation for sure. And I would say that the longevity of the Persona Cosmetics cream blushes is more. However, the Ilia multi-sticks are amazing. I love them. And if you set the top, again, I think with creams, if you set the top with powder, you're just in a way better spot. So that's like the vibe is just set the top. But this is definitely less pigmented, I would also say, and a little less long wearing, but still a beautiful formula. Love, I mean, you know, I talk about it all the time. Next, let's talk about the Westman Atelier Cream Blushes. And I have the shade Chouchette in this. And I would say the pigmentation on these is less than the Persona Cosmetics. So the Westman Atelier Cream Blushes have less pigmentation than the Persona Cosmetics one. And I would say the wear is also less than the Persona and also less than the Ilia one. I feel like they also have like a thinner consistency than the Ilia and the Persona Cosmetics. So the Westman Atelier blush, again, a little less pigmented, but you can, I mean, some of the pigmentation on them is like intense though, but this shade specifically, a little less pigmented. The formula, I would say, is thinner and it also doesn't wear as long, but if you set the top of it, you're kind of golden, you're good to go. But I would say it's a little bit more oily isn't the right word, but it feels like it has a little bit more oil in it, which is why it definitely doesn't last as long. Okay, next let's talk about it versus the Merit Beauty blush. So I have the shade Beverly Hills in this one, and this is definitely a thinner, lighter consistency, a lot less pigmentation, and a lot less long wearing. But I will say the Merit Beauty cream blush versus the Persona Cosmetics cream blush, I don't know if I would say that they're necessarily very comparable. I just figured I would get a question about it. I think that they're comparable in the sense that they're like 6 and you can just apply and go and blend with your finger and all of that. But I would say the formula is so different. The Merit Beauty one is definitely a little like more oil based. I would say it's the most, not oil based, but like, yeah, oil based than the rest of them that I'm talking about today. It is definitely thinner. And you need to build these up more to get that pigmentation, especially with the lighter shades. I think the darker shades, what is the one? It's the one that's more like grape jelly colored. I don't know where that one is. I have that one too. I can use less of it, but still, can you hear that? Hopefully not. But still, it is like definitely a lot. It doesn't wear as long at all. So this is definitely the least long wearing, but this is also the one I would grab the most out of all of them for like a beach blush because it's so lightweight, it's so natural looking. I would say out of all of them, this is the most subtle, if you will. But I love this blush. It's so good. Okay, so then next we're going to talk about the Victoria Beckham blush versus the Persona Cosmetics blush. Now, I want to say the shades that I'm going to compare today are the shades Teddy and the shade Playground. They are so similar. They are not 100% dupes, but they are so freaking similar. And the one thing I always said about the Victoria Beckham cream blushes is I feel like there was a luxeness to them that other, like in terms of color, like a richness to the color, but not rich in terms of pigmentation, but they just looked so expensive that other blushes don't necessarily have that I have found. However, enter Persona Cosmetics. So let's swatch. So this is the shade Playground from Victoria Beckham. It's just the most gorgeous, like, obsession. It's just such a good shade. I've worn it on camera before, so if you want to see this swatched on my face, I have a Victoria Beckham Beauty, like, try-on or something like that where I try it on. I've actually tried it on in a bunch of videos, and this is the Persona Cosmetics. So this one here, they are similar. Oh my gosh, they are so similar. I would say the Victoria Beckham one is more on the pink side, but in terms of tone and energy, you guys, like, so similar. And they give the same thing. They serve the same vibe. So the Persona Cosmetics is definitely more peachy, but it gives like a similar energy when I blend it out on my cheeks. The Victoria Beckham just has a little bit more pink to it, but it's so similar. I would say the formula of the Victoria Beckham is a little less, has a little less slip to it, but they both wear like beautifully, really well. I would say that Victoria Beckham, although it has less slip to it, I would say it lasts not as long as the Persona Cosmetics one does. I feel like the Persona Cosmetics one like grips onto the cheeks a little bit more than the Victoria Beckham, but they're like just so beautiful. Can you hear my phone? My phone is going off like crazy. But they are both really beautiful. I'm obsessed. I'm so impressed with the Persona Cosmetics cream blushes, and I hope they come out with more shades because I just love the blendability of them. Anything that blends as simply as these do, and you don't really have to think about it. It's like you can slap it on your face, blend it with your finger, or blend it with whatever, and go, is just something that is not missing, because it's not, but I feel like it's something that is coming back, is like the ease that makeup should have been for forever. And I feel like we went into a place, makeup had an ease, and then we went into a place where it was like really extra and really like super intense, which is great. I love, I mean, a full beat, sign me up, Sally. But like these products kind of give me that ease that makeup used to kind of have, where you just kind of blend it with your finger and you can like run out the door, and kind of the trend of everything being a little less intense, which I love. I love a less intense. I just do. I love something that isn't quite so intense. Especially going into summer, like, girl, I don't want to be stressing that like my makeup's just crazy. So I really appreciate these, and they're really good. I love the formula. And yeah, that is it for my Persona Cosmetics cream blush review. I would love to know your thoughts down below. Which was your favorite shade? Which was your favorite shade on me? Let me know. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.